Rajitha, so great to have you today.
Thank you, Shobik. And I'm extremely glad to be part of this journey with you. And I accomplished what I was looking for. So thank you so much for
Exactly.
that.
So why don't we just begin with the big news? So tell us, who you are, what you've been doing, and what are you doing now?
So I'm Rajitha Giri. So I started my career with Cognizant, and I was with them for 13 years. So I started their mainframe developer, and then organically grew into product manager with doing some intermediate roles like QA lead, QA manager, and then business analyst for enterprise application for retail and also consumer banking. Um, I'm in the industry for about 16 years now. In the past 4 years, I was with HEB, a Texas-based grocery retailer, and I was their product manager for supply chain optimization, mainly enterprise transformations from applications from mainframe to the cloud. So that's why I was me. Currently, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, I joined Amazon's AWS team as a senior product manager for the mainframe modernization space.
Amazing. No, great story. I knew this
Thank
was your
you.
dream role, so congratulations on it.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
it seems it has all the things: senior PM
Mhm.
role, you stay where you are, you operate remotely, all the right things are there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was in product space for about like 10 plus years now. And
Yeah,
being in that role, and what's next, right? How do I progress this or how do I make a better trajectory to the career path was one of the challenging things.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and I was actually shifting, right? I also went into UX bootcamp thinking that I can own that product space also, but
right.
ultimately ended up doing my own designs and then running my own side projects. But yeah, I'm so glad that everything came together.
So let's go back to the to that journey. So before you joined intentional product manager, intentional job search, what was the core challenge that you were going through that made you look for a solution?
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. Probably my situation here is a little bit different than others in the journey. I've been very thankful for that. For me, the sense of urgency to find a new job or to move up was comparatively very less. And the reason being is I was pretty much happy with my status quo, right? So I was in this, I was in the same job, same people, and they grew to become a community for about like 13 years. Very extremely nice people, engineers to leadership, everybody we knew. And very supportive for any kind of family and like reasons and all that. So I had very good work-life balance, right? But what was happening was I was in that space with HEB for 13 years. When I say that, 4 years as their employee and the rest as a contract. Slowly, what will happen is the problems that I have to solve become less challenging, right? While it keeps me interesting, but at the same time, I'm a person, I need new things in my life. I want to be in a challenging environment where I can think more and contribute more and grow as a person, right? So that was another main thing. And then another thing is, yes, I'm in product. Everybody appreciate the work and things like that. But what's next for me? How can I take this experience and then move up? And what is that definitive career path that wasn't there? When that realization came in, mainly when I started changing my track to UX and then started learning that. And then, I was also looking for MBA. I told you this when I joined. So I started taking a step back and then thinking the fulfillment or the satisfaction that I should be getting from work. Why am I trying to learn and then get it from another space? So then I started looking outside and looking into what is out there outside of my ecosystem. What it will look like if I break my comfort zone, which is a very huge thing, right? And then go outside and explore where you have 100% job security, beautiful work-life balance, and belonging, and then know all these people, right? So those were the I would say mindset of blockers, I would say. But then the realization was what's next and what can I learn more, right? So that status quo, I really wanted to do something about the status quo. So yeah.
You brought up a really important point, which is it's not that our program's filled with people who are just like miserable in their jobs and they hate every moment of their lives. No, but just like you, they realize that, hey, there's something more I want, and I'm just going to go get it. You were like, cool, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to make it happen. Perfect. So I remember we spoke, and what ultimately convinced you to take the leap and join Intentional Product Manager?
Yeah. That's actually a very good question. I think I shared this before also. So I knew there was no confusion in my mind that I have to take a step forward in product management, right? Because that was my track all along. I was very clear on that. So in part of looking into like what is outside, what I started doing was I will watch every single video in most of the YouTube channel posted on product management, and then how do they do things? How are people interviewing and things like that. That was just to educate myself to what I should be doing for the next step. But I was very clear that if at all somebody could help me and guide me correctly, it would make it much more structured, faster, and also at the same time, always in my career, what I was missing was a mentor. So I could get that good mentorship and really put me into the track of where I have to go next, right? So that was the whole idea. So I knew if I could get a package whole deal and somebody could help me with that would be awesome. I can learn a lot of things and then progress, right? Not just for the job search, but continue along that space.
Yeah.
So then I always multitask because I'm always in short of time. I'm a mom, I run the family, I cook my own food, so it's all there. So usually I listen to all the podcasts and then YouTube channels while I'm in the kitchen and then watching things, right? So I was in a moment where when your video started showing up for the very first time, I was like, what is he talking? Then I skipped it. But then another day, like as days progressed, I was in a situation in the kitchen where I couldn't skip it because my hands were dirty. And I had to walk at me listen. That first three things which you said in there really resonated to what I felt. And then it's like, it's just me. How come you knew? Like, this is like some mind reading or like, because the word that you told, I clearly remember is like, hey, if you feel stuck in your product management career, that was the number one problem for me. If you're really looking for to learn new ways and then learn from industry experiences, right? So all those things, because I really wanted to know those things. So these two things specifically stuck inside me. And then the third thing you also spoke in that video is mindset blockers, right? Mindset blockers can come from different angles. For me, the mindset blocker was moving out of my comfort zone, right? So that was the mindset blocker. And then questioning myself on, are you ready to do this, right? After that, I didn't think I went and scheduled a call with you to discuss and take next steps there.
That's amazing. And you're right. Like that feeling of people being stuck is one that, and when they realize that, okay, I'm stuck, they start to act. So I think that realization was good. And I've just heard it so many times that I just basically was learning from everyone who I've been hearing. Like, I'm curious, what were some initial surprises for you? Or what were like things maybe you didn't expect, or just like places where you gained a lot of value? Would love to hear that experience.
Yeah, definitely. So first thing was what I was looking for mainly was somebody to tell me, okay, these are the steps to do and all that, right? So while working at Sam, specifically in a couple of times, one major change that I made was he always forced me to think what you did and think for yourself. People are not hiring your entire team and you, they are looking for to hire you. Especially why I call that out is, see, like I said, in being in the industry for a long time and learning from people with 35 to 40 years of experience, your brain is set not to talk for yourself. Let your work talk for you, right? So that's a big thing. And taking that space to think through, okay, what was my contribution here? What did the rest of the people did? And yes, I want to keep credit to my team, but then they are looking for me, right? So what did I do? So calling that detailed out, that is where we went a couple of iterations, because even now I say my CV, my LinkedIn, and the whole stories that I have written, I do not call it as what I did. It's again B, right? So that is overall in the right. But so that's one major thing. And then, CV, while writing for CV, always the mindset was, okay, what were your responsibilities? And then again, changing that to what did you did? What was the impact? And what was the outcome, right? Tying into the numbers and things like that. Those were extremely good because it CD made a ton of difference than what I would write versus how it was drafted. Then the third thing is LinkedIn. I am not in any social media, you know that. Now I'm in LinkedIn, showing a little bit of presence and things like that, which definitely is good. It's not a bad thing. But then again, my CD had nothing. Just one line, my name, and then what it is, right, and where am I? That's it. But when everything started shaping together, I thought, oh my God, it looks so polished. So people are looking into my CV and LinkedIn. Now the next step is how am I delivering things, right? So practicing and then the constructive feedback that people are giving on every single time on how you can improve and things like that. And mainly collecting the thoughts and then putting a structure when you are talking. That's I'm still a learner and practitioner for that, but those are the key things that is always a takeaway. But yeah, the realization is CD farming, coming back to like what you did versus what they did, right? So yeah, exactly. So changing that thought process and then putting some effort into that was amazing. That's where actually the magic happened.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think those are all very important things. And almost sometimes I have to get people, or we have to get people out of humility that, like everything's about the team. But at this point, it's no longer about the team. So I think that was a very, really important piece that you mentioned. So tell me more about, the remaining story of you ultimately landing this Amazon job.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, as you know, a couple of things, right? Like when I signed up, or even in our first discussions, my first thing is, am I ready for this, right? And you would have felt that lack of confidence in me at that point of time, right? Maybe you can go back and watch that video and compare to what I'm talking now. You will see I can feel a huge difference in the confidence, right? So that's one thing. Then mainly the second thing is, like I said, I don't know you. I watched your YouTube video. I'm trying to meet with you. How can you trust, right? So giving that confidence of in what all areas you can help, and whenever I have concerns or questions, I can reach out and then have a discussion, and then from there we can go. What is the next step? And then that eventual checkpoints of where are you? What do you need? How can you move forward? Right. So those kind of things are really awesome. And then the third thing is like the support that the community, we have people who have already gone through those processes. And then you and Sam bringing in a ton of experience and then giving your points. And even towards the final stage, I remember like interview was towards the final one. And then I was like, oh, I was getting this offer. And I was like, probably it's good. But you already told me, no, it's good, but you can negotiate, right? And then like the way Sam analyzed, like over the years, this is what is going to be the package looks like. I don't think ever in my life. I'm so grateful to be, part of the IJS.
Yeah.
And mainly for the people who look forward to join something. I don't know if I want to advertise this, but financially, if you have constraints, you just talk it out. And that's what I did. I had some financial constraints. I have kids in schools. We are people, right? We have a lot of problems. So talk it out. Definitely. I got the help I need to do what I want, plus achieving every other things going around in my work. So definitely there are options. So, yeah.
There's options. And then also like to your point, actually, we've expanded options since then. But to your important point that, there's all the thing of looking at what's there, figuring out a way, because ultimately, like the whole goal is that in the future, then your financial constraints are much, much lower.
Yeah.
Like when people
Definitely.
struggle to like enroll, I tell them that's exactly why you need to enroll. We need to figure out how to make it happen, because a year when you have the new job, then that should not be a constraint anymore. So
yeah. And the strategy also, I know the only place initially when we come up with a list of like 15 companies and then the list, I think, I was probably coming up and asking, can I put probably like 10 times itself?
Yeah.
And then at one point they're asking me, hey, start applying everywhere. Let's see what is coming in, right? And then if this is what you want, just try focusing on that. Right. And you can go back to the email that I sent to Sam, specifically this role I'm in. I sent him that telling like, I'm looking for somebody to refer me because my friend who used to refer me, she was in a training in another country, so she couldn't get to it. So I was telling, can I get help to refer this? Because this job description screams me. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But I want to give you credit for just, setting your goals. Like, okay, I'm going to go work Amazon as senior PM, and just like, you stuck to it. And you're like, cool, you landed it. Like, you had the determination, the consistency to just keep going. Because look, everybody, like, when people work with us, it's not like oh, cool. In 15 days, you'll have your new job, everything. It's not that. You need to put in the effort. You need to be coachable. You need to be determined. You need to be resourceful. And you showed all those traits. And that's why you are right.
Thank you. And one thing I remember in the initial strategy call itself, you mentioned like be coachable. If you are not coachable, we can't help you, right? That's one thing. And also, I've been in the industry for years now, so I know it's not easy to find a job. I've been interviewing people, and also I think couple of times back, like I was selected to Whole Foods. So I clearly know, like apply for 10 jobs. Most of the times you get 10 like that automated mail, right? So I was not new to that. I was prepared. And especially my mind was, am I ready for a plan? I work for Amazon, but am I ready? Yeah. So So when that opportunity comes, I wanted to make sure that from my side, I am prepared. I'm not leaving any gaps. And after that, do not regret. Give your best and do not regret, right? Sure. So I show up for interview prep every single week. At least I attend one. Sometimes I do two. And then I answer questions. I take all the feedbacks correctly. That week we work. And if I don't get the time to practice, I do a video practice recording. I share it with Sam and then ask for feedback. So those kind of things I was doing. And once I was in that rhythm, I think in my mind, I also became serious about it's not a part-time thing that I'm hunting for a job. No, that is what I want. Yeah. So eventually you will get into that. Yeah.
Perfect. So I had one last question for you. Like, for people who are watching this, they are, on the intentional job search page, or they're like watching this in just part of my list. What would you tell them to encourage them, inspire them about intentional job search? Like, what message would you give them?
Definitely. So one thing is the process is proven. It is trusted. So do not question, is this process going to work for me or not? Yes, it will. Definitely, that is proven. So do not question the process. Just trust the process and then get into this. And people are here to help, whatever the help you need, right? Whether coming to writing CV, coming to writing stories, to whichever level of help you want, people are willing to help. And it is very difficult to find a community with that much support. Then the third main thing is do not shy away, ask what you want. And they will help you with all the options you want to take that next step. Do not get discouraged. You just need to trust the process and then ask yourself, are you putting the best of yourself forward? Are you doing enough? If you are doing enough and then it is not complaining, then like we reached at one point where, we may have to relook at the strategy, right? So even then there are ways to work and help you out. So these three things. See, I'm telling Sam.
Yep.
I'm telling Shobit way of three things.
Yep. You've already learned the magic to life, which is three things. Everything is three things. Awesome. Rajitha, thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Thank you, Shobit. And before I close, I want to tell one more thing. You feel like you get, but these are surprises. Probably they wouldn't want you to. You get birthday parties, birthday cards to celebrate you. And then when you have a big celebration, I got a big bottle of champagne. So You'll never know. This is family, and you can talk to anybody in the group, and it's an awesome support community too.
I love that. And, like over time, both us and then everybody else, there's just so much camaraderie. People are supporting each other. I know people are doing extra mock interviews with each other, helping each other out. That's just like so much fun. And I unfortunately don't get to see everyone in person enough. Whenever I go to a different city, I try to meet up with anybody who's there from the program. But, hopefully we'll get to meet one day as well.
Definitely.
Cool. Thank you again, Rajitha. Thanks for sharing your experience. And now you'll be part of the videos you watched. Now you're one of them.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Honoring. I'm so humbled. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be part of ITS family. And I won't get this if you or Sam were not there for me. So thank you so much for that.